Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to. Oh, I'm joking slightly. Excuse me if I have to cough. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. As you'll see from the title and from the thumbnail, we are back at a promotion game from Diamond 1 to Masters. We did get demoted. We have been kind of floating back and forth at the top of Diamond 1 for the last few episodes. And we've now gotten back to our promotion game, so I'm going to bring you all of these, and we'll see how they go. We are a fairly early pick early on, which is pretty nice for this one. And not the team captain, actually, which means it should be a pretty good quality game. That's usually my benchmark for judging if it's going to be a good game or not. It's like, if I'm not the team captain, all right, that means that there could be some really good players in here. And I recognize VQQ, though I hadn't played with him/her before. I don't think Nuti on the enemy team was the enemy team captain. I don't know that player yet, so playing with some new players, but that's always cool as well. I was considering what heroes to play. The enemy team actually bans away Varian. We saw how powerful Varian could be in our previous game as Lunara, when our Varian went with Colossus Smash and really tore a new one in the enemy team with the application of the vulnerability into the slow, and then our team with the range damage dealers following up with the burst damage. So that was pretty cool. You can see our team, we're actually hovering 3 range damage dealers at the moment, so one of us will have to change really. It's a very bad way to draft. It's not a very good composition if we do that. You can see I'm kind of considering switching over to Muradin actually just kind of from the start in order to make up for that. Kind of respecting, and this is interesting, I'm going to talk about this in a second, the enemy team actually first picks Illidan, which is unusual. That's going to make me insta-lock Muradin, basically. Muradin is one of the best warriors for dealing with Illidan. He's got a nice stun. He has his Thunderclap and the zone you can put down with Reverberation level 4. So useful. Ready for action, as VQQ says. Now we're looking at going for Tass. This is actually a really interesting draft. I really recommend staying around for this, even though you know what hero we're going to play. It's saying that they can ban the Tracer. I'm doing the opposite direction. But yeah, one curious thing, right? As I was trusting my teammates here, going for this pick, because I saw, hey, Death is on my team. I know Death. Death is a really good player. Now, when I was looking at HOTS logs to check out like the talents and stuff for this map, I was like, wait a second, why is this guy at like 3k MMR? What happened? Because Death was at least, I would say, 3,500. I was like, this is really weird. That doesn't make any sense to me. Turned out that it's actually a different player with the same name, but who's a little bit not as good as the other guy, who's truly excellent. This guy's good, but the other guy is truly excellent. So I was kind of confused by that. Anyway, here we go. This is pretty cool. So they picked up Vala and Malfurion as well. So I'm saying ban the cow and take Tassadar. So if we need to ban away ETC, we don't really want them to get ETC, and then we don't want them to get Tassadar. I think if they get Tassadar, they just win probably the game. Honestly, it's so strong. Tassadar synergizes with a couple of heroes really well right now. Let's say Tracer, Tassadar Tracer, Tassadar Illidan, and Tassadar Vala. Those combinations are just disgusting. Basically, they're all heroes that do a substantial amount of sustained basic attack damage, but are held back by being very squishy. I love this ban by the enemy team. They ban away Tracer. So basically they say, okay, we've got Illidan and Vala. We really want Tracer. You guys might want to take Tracer as well, or excuse me, Tassadar as well. Now, if you want to take Tassadar, you're going to have 2 picks. It would be really good for you guys to go Tassadar Tracer. That's what you really want. But instead of banning away Tassadar, let's ban away the Tracer, so that they're saying to our team, yes, you can take Tassadar if you want, but if you do that, you're not going to have any hero that synergizes with him that well. You got Falstad, who's not that amazing with Tassadar. It's okay, but it's not amazing. But you're not going to have the Tracer. So they're kind of saying, okay, well, you want the Tassadar now. So for them, I'd say at the moment, like Tassadar Johanna would be by far probably their best picks. I think at that point, they probably just win the game. Or, you know, not just straight out win it, but they're going in with such a huge advantage. I just think Tassadar combined with Vala and Illidan and Malfurion backing them up, plus then the solid tank of a Johanna would just be disgustingly strong. Really interesting though, they actually go for a Lily instead. So they do run the double support, but they opt for Lily instead of Tassadar. And they grab Tyrael. Oh, sorry, I forgot Tyrael was open. Yeah, Tyrael is just as strong as a warrior to go with Illidan, just as strong. But I really do think that Tassadar would have been better. So this is really interesting, right? I think what they did was they said, hang on, they're doing like these double standard mind games. So they saw our 2 picks And they said, okay, well, Tassadar by the way, also is not good against Illidan. Not really. He's great with them. He's not great against them. So they're kind of saying, hang on. Our team, that is my team, the blue team, really wants maybe Lily. Lily would fit in pretty well. So Lily does great sustained damage, and she also is really good against Illidan, also pretty good against Vala. So the enemy team, I think their dude was kind of saying, well, hang on, if we go for Tassadar here, and our team picks up Lily, as the blue team picks Lily, say the red team picked Tassadar, they went Tassadar Tyrael, and then the blue team, my team, went Lily as the final pick. I think he was scared that the Lily would actually counter the Vala Illidan picks. So he kind of went a level beyond and picked up Lily instead, kind of saying, okay, well, they don't want Tassadar, they do want Lily. If I pick Lily, it removes that counter pick, it removes the second support from the enemy team. And it's still going to be good for us. It's still double support for Illidan. Now, I think a big problem is that Lily's just not as good as Tassadar would be with Vala and Illidan. I think that Tassadar would have been such a strong pick they should have just gone for it. Maybe he doesn't play Tassadar well. That's always an option. But I think that's what was going on there. I think it was really next level mind games. And like I said, I really would have banned away the Tassadar if we weren't going to pick it. Those two guys were duo queue, our two picks after the ban. So I thought that was one of the most interesting drafts I've seen so far, actually. I was really, really fascinated by that one. But yeah, I picked Murden, just kind of trusting, thinking that our death dude was like Grandmaster quality player when he's only a Master quality player, which might not really make much difference to you, but you have to trust me that there can be quite a large difference in that. Or just, I just trust him to be a consistent and solid player. I say, as I missed my Stormbolt, so I can't really talk, I guess. But, oh well. Now, level 1, I did pick up Third Wind on Muradin. What this means is that it basically supercharges your trait, right? So our trait normally gives us healing up to... boosted healing up to 40% health, and then just bonus healing beyond that. Nice dodge by the Illidan. He knows what's up. What this talent at level 1 does is it makes your boosted healing go up to 60% of your max health, and then it also increases all the healing rates. Or should we miss the Stormbolt and the Illidan as well? Sergeant Hammer coming back around. You can see just nice smooth rotations as well by the team, right? Realizing what's up, yeah, is that spot Illidan is up against Sergeant Hammer down the bottom lane. So I swing around down bottom and take over because I'm able to pressure the Illidan much more. And Sergeant Hammer kind of backs off the lane, has a look, maybe poked into mid lane, didn't quite notice while I was commentating there, and then swings back and starts putting the pressure on in the bottom lane again. You can see she does the towers, knows that I can take out the last one, and she's off to mid lane. She's off to do her thing. I think that's really good play. So Illidan's doing damage to a Sweet Dwarf toss out. Now watch our health, right, with this talent. Okay, so tap the well too, but just watch this. Between the well tap and between our trait, we are back up to full health and full mana, just like that. So what this talent does, it's really nice in a solo lane. It basically makes your health an infinite resource in the laning phase. So long as you're aware of where the enemy team is, so long as you're aware of their rotations, you can basically walk away at 10% health, stand out of the fight for 10 seconds and come back in with plenty of health. It's pretty disgusting. There we go. We actually caught the Illidan this time with the stun and our thunderclap, and Illidan does go down thanks to some nice focus fire by the team, and we secure this bottom tempo. Pretty nicely done. I'm gonna grab this vision point and then make my way up to the top. So we're looking to invade these guys here on the point. Unfortunately, we get dismounted by the minions, which is not what I wanted. Jump over the wall, stun the Malfurion, catch him with a W as well, slowing him down, and Malfurion goes down. Very, very nice indeed. Good rotation by the Li Ming as well. She had barely any mana, but she knew she had just enough in order to pull that off. Now Dwarf toss in, try to catch the Vala, but Vala, nice sidestep once again. Seeing that coming. Also a nice sidestep of the magic myth, the arcane orb from Li Ming. Vala's got some fancy feet, boys. This Vala's some fancy feet. She might have died from those. Once again, you can see just taking a ton of damage. Just honestly just tanking it up in order to push that in. And just watch my health. Look how quickly that health bar is regenerating. I am expecting this to be nerfed. I think that they have... Like, look at that. Look at that. We're at 100% HP running through the mid lane. It's crazy. Also works really nicely with Oriel, because Oriel is... Okay, I see Li Ming is maybe going to come and help me out, so this is cool. I'm going to do this Merc camp. Don't want to do it solo because I'm too slow, but Li Ming, we can do it, no problem. Even if Oriel came, that would be okay as well. or Sergeant Hammer can pop over. Basically, we just want to have someone come help us to the siege camp. As you saw, losing health is not an issue for us, but it's just the amount of time we have to invest in order to do so. We're going to swing into the mid lane here, where Lily is kind of out of position. Actually, looks like our Oriole might be the one who's out of position, as Zunafeed here on the Tyrael. Zunafeed does swing around. He's got some nice moves. He's doing some fancy feet as well here. Minion wave actually absorbing that hammer. Didn't quite catch that minion. Trying to weave the needle between all those minions. Didn't quite manage it. In the bottom lane, actually, Illidan dies 1v1 with the Sergeant Hammer. And the siege camp's in the lane, so that's kind of crazy. We lose our siege camp. I think he kind of overextended in order to kill it. But yeah, stupid Illidan, as Sergeant Hammer says. We were obviously very concerned in the draft that we have gone for a triple backline composition. But it turns out this guy, he does... It's funny, he asked what to pick. We gave him about 10 suggestions and he still went Sergeant Hammer. I was very thankful then that early in the game, at least, he was kind of showing that he does know how to play Sergeant Hammer. You know, he's not an idiot, which is always very possible, especially when someone picks something that's just not that great in the draft. It's kind of going, uh-oh, what if this guy sucks? We could have a really bad time. Almost taking out Vala, actually. Knowing, you see, that's really good, right? He knows the precise limits of the character. That's really good. If I'd realized again that I was kind of realizing early in this game, for the first few minutes, these first 5 minutes, I was kind of realizing, okay, Sergeant Hammer, you know, thought he might be a bit of a dummy at the start, but he's really showing that he knows how to play this character. He knows what's up. So I'm going to adjust my playstyle then because of that, because I know I can trust him. So for example, right there at that fight, I did not realize that, what was I saying? That, yeah, I could have jumped in and maybe we could have killed the Vala, though she has demonstrated pretty fancy feats so far. But we maybe could have killed her if I jumped in with the Stormbolt, if everything worked out perfectly. So kind of noted that to myself and said I'd pay it off. So I'm gonna pop Avatar here. We have level 10. Got most of the shots on this temple. I'm just going to jump out. You can see the enemy team is coming in. Basically, I was watching the minimap and the fight up above the whole time. I think it was our 2 or 3 of our damage, excuse me, now of our damage dealers of our heroes, the Oriole anyway, and I think Li Ming, maybe the Falstad had pushed into middle. They took down most of middle fort, which is actually a really good move, by the way. Really good move. That fight down bottom pretty much went perfectly for us. I'm going to go top because Falstad seems a little bit busy. I was expecting him to go there, but yeah, as you can see, our fort up top is dying rapidly to this. I'm gonna actually jump in and start working on it, doing as much as possible. But yeah, a lot of damage down on this top fort. I was expecting more rotation from the team, from Falstad particularly, but he must have had Fly. In fact, we saw him fly down bottom, so Fly was on cooldown. He wasn't able to get down to defend it. So I do run up top. Should have actually run faster instead of stopping at the mid wave in hindsight, so that was a mistake, and because of that, we lost, I'd say, probably at least 30% more of the max HP of our tower, of our fort, than we would have otherwise. But yeah, I've been keeping an eye on our team and their rotations and stuff during that bottom temple phase. So I just stood in the temple for as long as possible, knowing we wouldn't win a fight, just watching my team as they stall them out. And then we got 80-90% of the shots from the temple, so that's a win. Plus we got the middle fort from our teammates pushing in, so that's a win. So big win for us. We're 2 levels up, and that's really, really nice. Top fort for us is almost dead because of that Merc camp, showing the power of getting the Merc camp at the right time. And that, in a way, actually, that sort of evens it up, right? Is that we pushed in on the mid fort and took that out. Well, their Merc camp, which they picked up instead, kind of did a similar thing. So I'm just lurking here. Nice dodge by the Tyrael. So you can see certainly that it is a fairly high level game, all right. You've got very nice jukes from these teams. The enemy team in particular has been better with the Merc camps than our team has been. But yeah, fancy feet are being had by all. Catch Tyrael with the Stormbolt. Vala tries to dodge the Arcane Orb this time. Doesn't quite do it. Is ending up taking a big chunk of damage. She looks like she's got a Vault upgrade. Cleanse actually coming out on Vala to prevent her from being stunned by my Stormbolt. That was fine. We stored Stormbolt on Tyrael instead. And Crystal Aegis is blown. I think he cast it on the wrong person, or else didn't mean to cast it at all. Anyway, we did a bit of a push in the middle, trying to see if we could catch someone out of the way. I spotted Illidan going top, so I was telling my teammates Illidan is top. I think he's alone. In fact, yeah, we can see the rest of the team. Yep, there they are. There's all 4 of them. So Illidan is alone. I think it would be open to like someone else running top and Falstad flying top. That'd be a possibility. But it looks like our team are content to just push in while I just solo the bottom temple, Illidan solos the top one, and we just trade basically. Oh yeah, other talents I picked up. This is a very standard Muradin build. So we had a third wind at level 1. Again, I talked about that already. Really nice talent. I'm expecting Muradin to be changed. They've mentioned that they're going to be changing Muradin in like the next patch, which could be in the next couple of days, or it might be on the P2R in the next couple of days, and then it'll be gone or back. I'm not entirely sure. Reverberation level 4, so Thunderclap strikes twice, which is going to help us zone out the Illidan much more, who does jump in on our team. Level 7, Ironforge Momentum, just getting cooldown reduction on our Q and our W. Is trying to step forwards to soak that up for the Oriole, didn't quite manage. You see it throwing down the W just as this zone to slow people down. Stormbolt the Illidan once he jumps in. Porti's Activation does come out, so I'm running now. Gets silenced by the mouth, take a chunk of damage. Crystal Aegis comes out. Actually, slight counter synergies with the Gust there, actually, but both of them very understandably being thrown down. So we actually get caught a bit in the line of fire, but we do just barely make it out. Tap that well. Get actually healed by Oriole as well. And start pushing forwards once again. Now I'm very low on mana. My Stormbolt there did miss, I think. And yeah, at this stage, gonna actually pick off this minion and grab that regen globe. It's just fairly desperate for mana right now. Once again, health not being a huge issue on the Muradin, but mana certainly is being. Just kind of scouting out this on the right hand side, just trying to keep an eye on where the enemy team is. Falstad is going to the top lane to defend that. I'm scouting out their Merc camp, which is where they're almost certainly going to be. Indeed, we do find them. Oriole's calling for a retreat, that's just fine, because I was planning to do that anyway. Just getting the scout out, just making sure we knew where the enemy team was, what they're up to. That little bit of extra information, always valuable. And very doable on Muradin with, you know, the Reverberation, with the Thunderclap, and with Dwarf Toss, plus just how tanky he is. And of course the level 1 talent, which means that if we do take, you know, 90% of our life in damage, it's going to be back in like 10 seconds. All of his level 1s are pretty solid though, I have to say. But yeah, level 10 then Avatar, of course, and then level 13 went for healing static. Porti the minions not being cooperative and blocking stuff. Falstad says fuck, I think. Yeah. And he gets killed by the Illidan, unfortunately. So I wasn't really paying attention to that at the top of the map, but apparently the yeah, the Illidan has the hunt, so that's how he kind of caught them out. I do get hit by Lily's thingy, and it's not a big deal. Gonna Dwarf Toss over. Get a W down. I spot Illidan coming in. I wanted to cut him off. Unfortunately, he does get through. We stun actually the Vala, stopping her from casting that strafe, just trying to keep our teammates alive. Hunt comes in from the Illidan. I'm just basing attacking here, trying to get my cooldowns off. There we go, jumping out. Stormbolt backwards now, maybe? Oh yeah, well, a bit late in the Stormbolt. But yeah, once again, a little bit strapped for mana, so trying to keep an eye on that, trying to zone them out with W. We were down Falstad for that fight. Falstad has to go top to defend against the Bruisers. But yeah, the hunt from the Illidan actually being pretty effective in this game. It's enabling us to focus him down pretty well, but it's giving him good global presence and getting pretty good pick potential. Only one temple active, which is the top temple. Myself and Falstad, we clear out the Bruisers and we start pushing down the lane. It's going to throw down Reverberation here as well. Let's get that lane pushing. Give us some vision actually pushing into this. Sergeant Hammer is on the way. So waiting for her as well. We mount up, Sergeant Hammer is coming. Just pinging to say, Sergeant Hammer isn't here yet, so we need to be careful as we engage right here. We actually push in, the enemy team backs off. They think more of us are here than actually are. That works in our advantage. Now you spot Sergeant Hammer, you can see Vala instantly sort of moving forwards more aggressively. In fact, there we go, they jump in behind. Actually, nice move by them, but good Crystal Aegis does help keep her alive. Lily's in a rough spot. Lily gets picked off, caught between Falstad and Sergeant Hammer there. Malfurion also gone too far forwards. Vala goes down as well. And that is 3 kills for nothing. So yeah, the attempted gank, the attempted collapse by the enemy team, not working out in their favor at all. Their dive to the left hand side, leaving their supports who are trying to dive from the right hand side very vulnerable. Falstad collapsing very nicely, and they go down. Illidan's in a bit of a rough spot. Looks like we'll be able to dive out. Throw out the Stormbolt, but the Stormbolt catches Tyrael just as he activates Sanctification. It means Sank is gone, which is good. But we need to be careful about other things. Anyway, this is a nice call for boss. We're right beside it. Sanctification is gone. And then we've got 3 enemy team members respawning at base. It's a little bit risky for sure if we do it slowly, but considering that we're doing it pretty quick, it should be fine. Basically, it's a race against the clock. Can we kill it before 3 of them get there? Tyrael attempts to come in and stop us with the Holy Crown, but he's a little bit too slow. Being a bit scared, considering he doesn't have Sank, and considering how far away the enemy team was. Li Ming does just about pick off Illidan with Disintegrate over the wall. We're giving chase to Tyrael right here. Dwarf toss over. He thought he was safe. He is not safe. And we're just putting some hurting down on Tyrael. Unfortunately, Sergeant Hammer goes down, but 2 more heroes go down as well. Fancy feat from Malfurion, but there is a Murden in the way. He would have died either way, but still. But worth good job, says Sergeant Hammer. I agree. For Sergeant Hammer to die in order to pick up 3 kills is more than worthwhile. Here you go. We're pushing down the bottom keep. Tyrael is attempting to defend. We're doing some pretty good work here. I did, by the way, pick up give him the axe at level 16, so whenever we hit a slowed or stunned enemy hero, as you see right there, gives us 60% bonus attack damage for the next few seconds. So you can see what I'm doing right here is I'm ignoring the enemy team, but whenever they come into range, I hit them just once in order to activate give them the axe, so we have that 60% bonus damage, and then start thumping away at the core as well. I mean, if we hit 2 basic attacks on the core with that 60% bonus damage, we've already done extra than we would have if we were just hitting the core straight on. So trying to just switch between the core, swap between that and hitting an enemy hero once, just to maintain that, gives them the axe buff and the max damage. Li Ming got MVP, 0 deaths. So 0 deaths, well done, Li Ming. Thought everyone on the team actually played very well. Everyone played excellently. And there you go, 5-star match experience for us. We captured 4 Merc camps. Similar players only got 2.1. Kind of neglecting that on Murden. There you go, we're up to 307 master points once again, which is very nice. You can see Li Ming and Sergeant Hammer doing a lot of damage. Falstad obviously doing a lot less because he's Falstad, but he had a lot of XP soak, which is really nice. Ooh, he actually went for Seasoned Marksman, that's interesting. Basic attack Falstad. Interesting. There you go, there's the talent build, if you were curious about that. Level 20 would have gone for Rewind. My favourite Murden talent. At level 20 with the current build and the way he's set up. And there you go, guys, we're back to Master. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Of course, I might fall off again. I've been pretty rusty. Have not been playing recently. I picked up Skyrim, just the basic edition for €6 yesterday, which is great. And I'd spent like the previous couple of days just researching how to mod the game and everything like that. So I spent like all yesterday modding Skyrim, and I finally got it working, and it's freaking awesome with mods. Having a blast playing that again. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't slow down the games, the videos too much this week. I have to get back on top of Heroes of the Storm. Probably do some training matches and bust out some new heroes, so that could be fun. So stay tuned for that this week. That's probably what we're gonna have, is some like unranked draft games, trying out some different heroes that I haven't actually played in ranked yet, and giving them a spin while I kind of get warmed back up again to play heroes. So yeah, that should be pretty fun. I'm thinking maybe I've already done a video of Kel'Thas. That might go up. I'm not sure, because it wasn't a very good match, but it was still a good look at Kel'Thas. So I'll decide that. That might come up though next time. And then any other heroes. Actually, leave recommendations if you want down below in the comments, because I'm putting this up straight after I record it. So I'll basically get those comments in real time. I'm going to go play Skyrim now. So yeah, I will not be playing Heroes of the Storm until after I've seen your comments. So any heroes you want to see, let me know. I think someone said Lost Vikings, so I'll try to get a game on them. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Back up to Masters, which is lovely. That was a very smooth game. I thought it was funny that I was stressing my teammates, thinking that Death was someone that he was not. It was a different Death, but it worked out just fine in the end. And I thought, really interesting draft. I think my big question walking away from that game was, what would have happened if their second support had picked Tassadar instead of Lili? How would that game have gone? I think it would have been an awful lot harder. And would our friend, our Sergeant Hammer, have picked, would he have picked Lili, or would he have still gone for Sergeant Hammer? And how would that have worked? I think it's a really interesting game. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.